What I find working with organizations is organizations way over focus on box one. And then they think they are doing strategy. As I mentioned to you a few minutes ago, strategy has nothing to do with the past. It's got nothing to do with the present. It's got nothing to do with box one. Strategy has everything to do with box two and box three. What is your agenda in box three? Your organization's agenda in box three is how are you going to successfully create your future a decade from now? And if you want to create your future a decade from now, you have a job to do today. That is in box two. You have to selectively forget some of the things that are working for you. Let me clarify one thing right away. Strategy for any organization. That includes Harvard, that includes General Electric, that includes your organization, is about leadership 10 years from today. But strategy is not about what you have to do 10 years from today. Strategy is all about how you allocate resources across the three boxes today so that you intersect with a decade from now. Strategy is about the projects you're executing across the three boxes so that you stay relevant in the next decade. Another word for box one is competition for the present. And I say strategy has very little to do with competing for the present. Another word for box two, box three is competition for the future. I say strategy has a lot to do with competing for the future. And one thing we know as leaders, competition for the present is extremely important. It is just as important as competition for the future is. Therefore, strategy is really about how do you create your future while managing the present. And the reason why this is a challenge is the thinking process and the execution methodologies you need for box one projects, which are all efficiency-oriented projects, are fundamentally different than the thinking process and the execution methodologies you need for box two, box three projects, which are all breakthrough innovation projects. Yet today, you have to do box two. But today, you better have some innovation experiments going on in box two, box three, just like the way MIT is doing a breakthrough innovation experiment that is targeted at creating the future. Yet they require fundamentally different capabilities, fundamentally different thinking process, fundamentally different metrics, fundamentally different culture. This is the central strategic challenge. The common sense message is future is now. Future is not about what you have to do in the future. The reason why this is so hard is today you have two jobs to do. One job is in box one. Another job is in box two, box three, trying to create that future. Yet there are inherent conflicts, inherent paradoxes, inherent tensions between the two. Competition for the present projects, box one projects, efficiency-oriented projects are always in response to what I call clear and linear changes in your industry. Because the changes in the industry are linear, the organizational response would be linear innovations, continuous process improvements, Six Sigma, operational excellence. These are all powerful concepts, but they are really box one concepts. Competition for the future projects, box two, box three projects are always in response to weak and non-linear changes in the industry. Because the changes in the industry are non-linear, the organizational response has to be non-linear innovation, breakthrough innovation, fundamental innovation. What might be an example of a non-linear change in the industry which produced non-linear innovation? If you want to take a look at the last 2 decades, I would say the internet itself was a non-linear change. Why? Because non-linear changes will create non-linear innovation. Concepts like eBay, Amazon.com, Google would not have been possible without a non-linear shift called the internet. Let me pause here and ask you a simple question. Based on your own experience, can you identify 3 good examples and 3 bad examples? I'm talking about corporate examples, preferably in the same industry. If you can think of an outstanding performer in that industry versus a not so outstanding performer based on this 3-box thinking.